time it is, pull it up on my phone, or I'll look at the clock on the bottom of the computer or something like that. Sure enough, 11:34. I'll be in my van driving somewhere, and all of a sudden my mind sends my eyes to the clock, and it says 11:34. And I used to be afraid. Am I going to hell because I'm seeing that? Again, read the Scriptures. That's where you find out whether you're going to hell or not. But what happens is our mind constantly is aware of its surroundings through the eyes and through the ears. You're hearing more than you're listening to. You're seeing more than you're watching. And subconsciously, there's things in your brain that are going on subconsciously, without you, which means under the knowing. And at around 11:33, the brain is going to send a signal to the eyes, get ready. And 11:34, all of a sudden, it's going to go, boom, oh, look, it's 11:34 again. Okay? That's kind of how the brain is a magnificent thing. And that works for good things, too. That's how all of a sudden we remember something. Oh, my goodness, I'm supposed to be somewhere. Well, your brain, your subconscious knew that, and it was telling your conscience, you need to get your keys out and go to the doctor's office because you have an appointment. And it's better that your brain tells you that than your wife. How come you're not at the doctor's office? Okay? I mean, it's just, God designed us. This brain is an amazing thing. But we all know we have a subconscious. And that subconscious can take in information. And so if I just flash this to you very quickly, okay, that's actually a little bit longer than you're supposed to look at it. Your subconscious brain has taken in every single detail of that graphic there. Now, if you stop and look at it long enough, you process the information in that graphic and you say, that is wrong. If it's in your, that's what that verse meant, where it said, bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Your subconscious, your consciousness looks at that and says, that's of the devil. I'm not having any part of that. I understand what that's all about. You look at something like this. Now that your attention's been drawn to it, you see it every time, and you go, you know what? I understand what that graphic's all about. I'm not falling for it. But as long as it remains subtle, and isn't that what the devil did to Eve? He used subtlety. He went, there are two parts of your brain. There is a stronger half, which is the right side of your brain. That's where all the information is stored. That's where yes and no is, right and wrong, black and white. That's where all the logical decisions are made. And then there is a weaker side of your brain where the creativity is and the imagination is. And what did the devil go for when he tried to deceive mankind? He didn't go for the logic. He went for the weakness. He went for the creativity. He went to where the imaginations are. He went to the woman. That's what he did. By the way, let me show you what this is, in case you didn't pick up on it. The next, see the X, the two swords. Do you see the phoenix bird sitting there? Do you see the word underneath that, redemption? Do you see the phrase on the bottom, who will rise? You see it now. But if it's just flashed to you, your subconscious picks that up and stores it. And when it starts matching other similar images in your brain, I think that it eventually leads to a decision that you can make. Here's a good one here. Somebody sent me that. In fact, I'm just sent this stuff this weekend. This is obviously for the European Union. You see the European logo on top, and it says Europe for all. We can all share the same star. I mean, look at this image here. Number one, you're being implanted the pentagram, the 5-point plan. You're being planted all of these religious icons, that all religions together, we can all share the same star. I know what this is. Since I can bring this thought, unto the captive and under the obedience of Christ, I'm not going to fall for that scheme. But many will fall for it. Here is one, and somebody asked me, they said, this is from the Lord of the Wings. That sounds like a chicken joint I would like to go to. Lord of the Wings. This is from Lord of the Rings. This is what J.R.R.R.R.R.R.R. Tolkien drew in his book, Lord of the Rings. And I'm looking at this, and he says, do you think this bears any similarity to the Masonic idea of Jacob and Boaz? And I'm going, I don't think that. I know it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the two pillars. I'm seeing Jacob and Boaz. I'm seeing the arch, and I see a crown here that joins them all together. Duh, I get it. But that idea, by the way, just get over the idea. Tolkien was not a Christian, neither was C.S. Lewis. They were brandy-drinking philosophers that said that mythology is the best way to learn about Christ. Well, let's see. Mythology is a lie, and if you're going to use a lie to tell people the truth, no, it just won't work. I'm sorry. Here's one here. Resident Evil. Okay? Well, okay, well, that's obvious. Do you see 3 6s here at the 33-second mark? Oh, there it is. That's what this is about. Subliminal suggestion. Guy sends me this. The Triodos Bank. Okay? I get it. I understand. Because you and I have been studying the Bible. We see the meaning of symbols. We understand that that thing on the New King James Bible ain't right. Because the Bible says it's not right. It's got to represent something else. And yet here that symbol is everywhere. We're seeing it all over the place. And here's this bank. I wonder if that has anything to do with buying or selling and a mark. Of course it does. So you and I have the ability to bring these thoughts captive unto the obedience of Christ, and we're not going to fall for this. But the devil is slowly but surely planting these subtle images. Now, before I show the next one, this was somebody sent me from Gawker.com. The Facebook Illuminati symbol hidden inside Mark Zuckerberg's hoodie. When Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg was asked pointing questions about privacy breaches at last week's D8 conference, he started sweating so much he had to take off his sweatshirt. Inside was a strange symbol. What does it mean? And I'm going to show you. In fact, there's a picture on this website of them looking at his sweatshirt. Here is the graphic that's on his sweatshirt. You know, it's a Facebook thing, and you see Facebook there, and making the world open and connected. That's what Facebook is all about. Let's see here. And you have arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arrows. 3 and 3 together. A hexagram. Sons of God, daughters of men. And you and I, who have been keen to understanding the nature of logos, symbols, etc., etc., we see this, we comprehend consciously what this is, what it's about, and we make the logical, rational choice and say, I'm not falling for your little New World Order schemes. I'm not doing it. I know what this is. I don't have nothing to do with it. And if something like this causes you to go off Facebook, go off Facebook. Okay? Knock yourself out. You just, and by the way, it's not a sin to be on Facebook. It is a sin, however, to take the mark, and that's where this imagery is leading to, because Revelation 13, the false prophet is in charge of indoctrination, bringing people to make and worship a what? An image based upon the imagination. How did it get into the imagination? A seed was planted in the imagination. That's how it got there. Change the subject. I preached a funeral yesterday. And I don't know if I was just tired or whatever. I need to do I had some Bible verses up here, and I'm going to go back to them. I preached a funeral yesterday. Lisa and I got in from the airport Saturday night at 10:30, got to bed late, got up and preached yesterday and taught yesterday. And as the day went on, or not yesterday, Sunday. As the day went on, I just got tired, exhausted. Got up Monday morning, and if you watched our service, you know that one of our group home guys, we have some guys from a disability group home. These are guys that they're mostly cognitive, but they have different issues. They can't function. They can't live on their own, things like that. They've been coming to our church for years. Other churches don't want them there because they make noise. Who cares? That just kind of makes me mad. But anyway, we love these guys. 3 of them have passed away since they've been coming to our church. Stan was one of them. Now, you've never seen these guys on camera, and that's because we're not supposed to show them. Okay? But Stan passed away. Stan's been coming to our church ever since that, I don't know, 8 years, something like that. And his sister knew that he loved our church. I was the preacher to him that said, "He's too loud." He would say that. Okay? That was me. And I preached his funeral yesterday morning, and I was sick. I was ill. My stomach was upset. I had aches. I was weak. And I drug myself in here to the church Monday morning, and I laid down. There's a couch in Alicia's. How come she gets a couch? And a couch in Alicia's, and I came right in, and I laid on that couch. I just collapsed. And I said, God, I'm not going to do this. And I've seriously considered trying to call and see if there was a minister that could come do this. And I said, no, that's not right. That's not right. That family wants me. They need me there. And I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, people. I'm not. I'm going to show you something here in a minute from the Scripture. And so I sat down, and I didn't have any choice but to bow my head. And I said, God, I want to go home so bad. I want to go to bed. God, I'm tired. God, I can't do this. I don't know what to say. God, if you want me to do this, I need help. I need a lot of it. And to make a long story short, the organist at this funeral home was the lady who taught me piano. And she and I are lifelong friends. She loves the Lord, her and her husband, and she loves me. And she was playing the organ at the end in a little back room there where she can be heard and not seen. And right after the service, just before we left, I just stuck my head in the room, and I was just going to tell her bye. And she said, come here, and she's playing the organ. Now, she's good because she can talk and play the organ at the same time. I can't. I can't talk and play at the same time. I can sing and play. I can't talk, but she's good. So she's playing, and she said, I have never heard a better message in my whole life than what I just heard now. And I thanked her for it, but I said, I'm just a guy that's not too proud and knows how to ask for help. That's me. That's the difference. Is I am not ashamed. I'm not too proud. And God, practically most days of my life, will have me in a condition where I have to ask for help. Now, every other Christian idea